Hello everyone, welcome back to another great episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Today we're going to be making a chicken and mushroom stuffing for just about anything. You can use this recipe to stuff parathas, you can use them to stuff buns, pastries, bread, dough, sandwiches, anything that you like. So it's a healthy stuffing, and really you can use your imagination and really do anything with it. I will be making a video which I'll be using this stuffing for these rose buns that I'm making, and make sure you guys watch that because they turn out amazing. So let's get started. I've got really simple ingredients here. I've got about 2 cups of chicken that I just marinated in ginger, garlic, salt and pepper, and then I've just chopped it up. Now you can also use the chicken breast cubes, whatever, and then shred it if you like, but sometimes I like it when it's chopped up. It just gives it a texture. It's just a different texture. And then here I have 8 ounces of button mushrooms. You can use bella mushrooms, you can use shiitake mushrooms, really up to you, but I think for this delicate dish I prefer using the button mushrooms, and I love the mushrooms in this dish. We're also going to be adding about 2 to 3 tablespoons of spring onions. This gives it a really good taste. About a teaspoon of ginger and garlic, a good teaspoon of chili garlic sauce. This is a red chili garlic sauce. And then also about a tablespoon of fresh chopped coriander or cilantro. And then salt to taste. And then I also have some Kashmiri chili powder that I'll be using. And that's completely optional and totally up to you. Now you don't want to use too many liquids in this dish because we don't want this dish to be soggy. You want a dry filling. So, and then about a tablespoon of olive oil to start sauteing it. So let's get started. So into our pot goes 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Not much, you don't need much. And for this one, I am going to start off with sauteing the mushrooms first. And the reason why I'm sauteing the mushrooms first is because mushrooms secrete a lot of water. And when you're making a stuffing that needs to go in like dough or pastries, you don't want to have a soggy stuffing. Otherwise, your dough is going to get soggy and it's going to ooze all that water. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make sure that we saute this until all the water evaporates. We're going to take the mushrooms out, and then we'll start sauteing the chicken, and then add all the other stuff in there. You can see here that our mushrooms are quite dry. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and put it in a nice, clean, dry bowl. I'm sorry that I have the back of the pot at you. All right, we're gonna let this rest and get cooled down. I absolutely love mushrooms. Okay, so now we'll add the another little bit of olive oil. You want to put in our ginger and garlic because you want this to fry up just a little bit. And once it gets really nice and fried, it gives a really nice taste. We're going to let this fry up a little bit before we add our chicken in here. Spring onions, lili dungri, Kashmiri chili powder, salt or namak, chili garlic sauce, 1 chamcho or 1 tablespoon, mushrooms, see here that I've Want to saute this really well. Again, make sure that the water disappears. And basically we're done. At this point, do a good taste test and make sure that it meets your palate. Like if there's enough salt, there's enough chilies, there's enough seasoning. You just want to make sure that everything tastes really good. And then you want to make sure that filling is really nice and cool down before you start stuffing anything in there. So I'm just going to add my cilantro in there, mix that up, and our filling is ready. So our filling is done. You want to do a taste test. I just cannot emphasize it enough to do the taste test. And the filling I found was a little bit spicy, but it's perfect because when the dough comes around it, or when the pastry comes around it, then it kind of takes away, the bread takes away from the being it too salty or too spicy. So I think it's going to balance out the flavors really well. So basically we did a very simple chicken and mushroom stuffing today. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Raihana's Cuisines. Hope you can join me here next time with another great video. See you then, friends.